title doctor looks very fancy, but it also comes with a lot of pressure. This is something which is not being taught in the college. We are in that dilemma always that, should we join a job or should we open our own setup? So that is why I think the pressure builds up, because I think a lot of dentists are sailing in the same boat, just that they don't express it that much, because of which the things are still hidden inside and they come out like that.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kanu Pandey and I welcome you to Dental Dose. Here we talk about the emotional and professional roller coaster ride that we all go through after BDS. And we have on board Dr. Suhani, who is an educationist and also a renowned dentist in the world of dentistry. She is into clinical dentistry for over 15 years and is also a very popular Instagrammer. So, Dr. Suhani, we are really happy to have you on board today.
Pleasure is all mine, Dr. Kanu. It was really great to know that you really want to talk about the points, because this is something which we all as dentists can relate to.
So, Dr. Suhani, let's go back to your course BDS days. What was your headspace like right after graduation? Because I have got to know it's been almost 15 years you are into the clinical practice now.
That's right. So my story is nothing different from any other BDS student story. So it so happened that I was in my final year of graduation and I got engaged just in my final year. So to me, it was like, okay, I knew that I'm going to get married next year. Before my completion of internship, I was already married. But yes, when I moved out of the college, I was totally clueless, because it is something that the hand holding had stopped. There were no professors to guide, there were no friends whom you could have spoken to that, okay, what next now? What needs to be done? Because you know that your parents, your families will have certain expectations towards you. But at the same time, you are totally lost. You don't know what to do. Do you want to do the post graduation, or you want to happen or you want to join lectures or courses. So that is the time wherein I think every one of us is totally confused, and so was I.
There is this collective anxiety and struggle as you discussed. Ki you were also confused when you were in as you got engaged during your final year itself. So every fresher that is post BDS, what now? The biggest question that we face is what now? Why do you think this hits very hard, oftenly to every BDS pass out?
See, the major problem is when we see our counterparts, like when we see our friends of different fraternities, like for example, a CA or an MBA or an engineer for that matter. These people are sorted in the campus interview itself, because the campus placement makes sure that they get the jobs and everything. But we as dentists, we know that the market right out is much tougher as compared to our other counterparts. So we know that we are not going to have any jobs, high paying jobs. We know that even if we try to join somebody, the pay will not be that much, because our experience is nothing. So we are in that dilemma always that, should we uh, uh, join a job or should we open our own setup? So that is why I think the pressure builds up. Also, like I said, the title doctor looks very fancy, but it also comes with a lot of pressure. So you know that you have certain expectations from your family, your relatives, and your friends. Also, your friends who probably must have, you were at the same school, same college, but now you're seeing them doing much, much better than you already. So that pressure always hits you hard. But I feel that we, being dentists, we should always understand one thing, that, we have chosen a different mountain to climb, but the view from there is quite fulfilling. So let us understand that it's a slow but steady journey which we all have to accompany.
So, as we did discuss, ki we have our friends from the different fraternity who are earning well, even getting married, and then having all these things. Ki okay, I did buy my first maybe the car or the bike or whatever, and it does hit us hard that we are just becoming maybe liability on our parents. So, while we all are facing this, what would be that one suggestion you would like to give? How can we figure out this comparison that is going on in our head?
So, like I said, that comparison, Dr. Kanu, will always be there because we know that we are able to see, like, right? We see it right there. That, okay, they are doing much better than us. In a lot of times, it has happened with me that I saw my friends who were like engineers and all. In my school time, they were probably mediocres or something. And when you see that those mediocre friends you had are already up there, you definitely feel that you are doing something wrong, that things are not aligned to what you thought they will be. But dentistry is a profession. As a profession, dentistry or medical, patience is something which we all need. If we do not keep that patience, or if we don't take it that way, that it's a slow and steady journey wherein we are taking time. It's 100% sure that it will take a lot of time, probably double the time, for us to reach that status or reach that level of our counterparts. But that day when you see yourself reaching there and fulfilling things, the feeling is next level. It's totally worth it, because the journey is something which we all have to be consistent with, and never lose our patience is what all about.
True. So, as we discussed about the journey, what would you suggest the freshers who feel frustrated with their career progress?
So I have seen a lot of DMs in my Instagram also, a lot of NEET aspirants, a lot of just freshers which are right out are, after BDS. The first question is, Doc, what shall we do now? Shall we open our own practice, or should we do MDS, or we do some parallel courses along with it? So see, my journey I can share, because being a practicing woman dentist is even more tougher, because we know that we have many obligations coming on our way. It's not just okay, you get married, you settle down. Then what about the family plannings? We also have to need to have a child. In the meanwhile, your career you will never want to compromise on, because you have spent good amount of time, you have upgraded yourself, you have made sure that you are capable in doing something, not just to sit at home or to take care of your husband or your child. So you also have your career goals which you need to keep in place. I think that I have seen a lot of times that people say that no, you have to do MDS, you have to do MDS. So I am a BDS. I I wanted to pursue MDS, but I also saw that with a family, doing a full time masters will not be possible for me. But then I did not stop there. I did not stop there, because I knew that I have to skill myself up. So I will pass on the same message to all my people who are watching this. The best part would be to keep learning, to keep upskilling yourself. If you're not able to do MDS, it's absolutely fine. MDS is not the end of the world, because I have seen at the end, it is not the degree that matters. It's the skill what you have, what you can carry at your clinical setup. Ultimately, it's all what matters, because if you don't do that, thinking that, okay, whatever you have done is fine. Now, MDS also is a 3-year course. What if you are not able to skill yourself up to that level? Then it will not do justice to whatever you've done in the last 4 years also. So yeah, learning parallel and being focused and being consistent is all what I think that people these days are losing, because they're very flicker minded. For 4 5 days, they will think, okay, we have to do this, we have to do this. But again, after 5 days, they will lose the enthusiasm and they will lose the momentum, and they will be like, oh, there's nothing to do now. So everything in life needs patience and consistency, I feel.
So, something we need to learn is focus and consistency along with patience.
Yeah, that's the rule of my life. Everything in life needs patience and consistency, because your hard work never goes waste.
So, as we were talking about the career, so shall we move to the next segment, that is segment 2 related to career and money?
Yes, please.
So, one common complaint is not being paid fairly or not getting enough clinical exposure. We have heard every other student or the new BDS fresher telling, I was just asked to hold the suction.
That's the hard reality that happens at my clinic also. I I had two clinics wherein I used to have associates and locums with me. So I used to see one thing that, in colleges, if you are from a private college where you do not get much exposure of the patients, there are a lot of times when the freshers are coming on the dental chair, they would still not be confident in handling a case on their own. So in such a case, for example, if I am a practice owner and somebody like a fresher is coming to me for a job, I have made a certain reputation for my clinic. I would not want that reputation to go for a toss just because a fresher has to be given some work. So I will of course make sure before I appoint anyone that what are the skills that dentist is having, and will he or she be able to handle my patients on their own without compromising on the reputation and the image what I've created for so many years. So it so happens that when a practice owner is sitting with a clinic with so many overheads, rentals, and everything, we need to have productivity, right? At the end of the day, we should be making sure that whosoever is coming and joining on my behalf should be giving me that kind of revenue also. Yeah. So the problem is the system is such that unfortunately, in any dental clinic, like good running dental practices also are not able to offer good amount of stipend to freshers. Like I joined my first job, you won't believe. Like usually people get stipend in the internship. When I saw an internship in one of the clinics in Andheri as a junior intern, I paid them. Like I did not get paid. I paid them just to request them that please teach me something, because that is the kind of exposure what we get in dental colleges. So, and now when I think in retrospect, I feel that I good that I paid because I learned something. So one thing what I will like to tell all the freshers is, for example, if you have joined a clinic, you've been told to hold a suction, it's okay. It's okay if you're not getting paid well. As long as while holding that suction, you're able to understand and see what the other dentist is doing. Because that is something what you can take as a return of the time what you are spending there. Maybe it's okay, you're not paid, it's fine. But the kind of exposure what you're getting, you may probably take that exposure as your income out of it. That is all what matters, I think, because that is one very hard fact that interns in dentistry or even the fresher passed out doctors, they don't get much salaries. Even on the locum, like we usually in our clinics, we keep dentists on locum, wherein we give them a certain percentage of revenue they are generating for us. So that still makes a decent amount, but salaries, there's hardly anything what they get.
We can say that dentistry doesn't ask us about salary, to be honest. It's about the experiences that we gain.
Absolutely, absolutely. So basically, they are the future dentists in making. So this is something which we even feel ashamed of discussing, because when somebody is coming and asking you, okay, how much do you earn? Will you be able to tell them that this is what you're earning right now?
Yeah.
You won't be able to justify it at all. Like what, 4 साल की पढ़ाई, 5 साल की पढ़ाई, and then you get this. It's utter nonsense. But this is something which is beyond our control. The system is such.
So we can conclude that gaining experience is the payment that we get, and you should not expect high payments in the mere start.
We are in a profession where learning is a constant graph. It's nothing like the day you feel that, okay, you know everything is the end of your career. So you have to make sure that you keep learning, keep upgrading yourself. So maybe that is something which you can take that, okay, I have learned today, I held the suction, but today I also saw that how that doctor was placing an implant. So that's also kind of learning which is going back with you. Money is something which you will earn, but you will spend. But ultimately, this skill, what you are upgrading yourself in, will help you in long run.
So that is the reason that sometimes when we are also discussing, we can understand that yes, the system is that way. But people do feel that the system is flawed, that even after spending these years and then we are not paying well. So, what would be your advice that someone should, like, when we just talk that someone should get an experience and not expect the payment? Maybe they have some financial constraints that they feel that they need to earn. So, what would be your one suggestion to them to come out of this dilemma?
I totally understand that there are a lot of dentists who have certain responsibilities on their heads, and they really don't want their parents to feel that way, that okay, we have invested all our money in their education and still till now they're not able to survive themselves also. So in that case, we can always opt for a parallel income. For example, you've passed out from the college and you've joined a clinic. There's always a source of parallel income what you can generate for yourself. There are various other ways through which you can generate side income for your day-to-day chores and everything. For example, you can do content creation. Content creation is something I think which a lot of dentists are now doing. Probably this could have been a module in our graduation, because we were taught dental materials, we were taught every other things, but we were not taught content creation for sure. This is something which we could have, if they start incorporating it, probably it will help a lot. So yeah,
In the second.
this is one thing. They can also start coding a lot of. In my times, honestly, we only knew that we have to practice. There was no other thing apart from that, because maybe we were not that well versed with what's happening around the world. But I have seen that generation these days, they know like a lot of things what probably we didn't know. AI, they know photography, dental photography is something which they can always start doing. Yeah, so parallel source of income is always good.
Okay. So, discussing about all these things, everyone is stuck whether we should go for a clinic or we should go for an MDS, because these days people think that every patient know what a master's person is. So, MDS has become a dilemma. So, what do you think? When should one decide that okay, yes, I want to pursue MDS?
So, very good question. MDS, first of all, MDS shouldn't be a status symbol. MDS shouldn't just be done to make sure that when you put your board outside your clinic, you're able to write so many degrees like BDS, MDS, this, that, this. Do it for the depth of the subject. Do it if you really feel that you'll be able to live with that subject for next 3 years. Don't do it just for the society or just to show people that, oh, what will people think? Are ye to course graduating nahi hai?" No, doesn't matter. My first year of my clinic, there were about 15 MDS doctors who used to constantly call me, meet me, that please let us know if there's some work, let us know if there's some work, like the freelancers. So that is the time when I realized that, after 3 years of hard work, what these guys put in, ultimately they have to start their career the same way how we are doing. So might as well open your own setup, start doing the procedures yourself, or maybe take help from your peers or your seniors or whatever, and keep upskilling yourself. Too, there are a lot of courses, a lot of good courses happening these days, which you can always join and keep upgrading yourself. That will help you a lot. That's what my take is, because that's what my personal journey has been.
So, as we were discussing about the secondary sources that are happening, like we were discussing about content creation. So, moving to the next segment, that is exploring the unexplored. Do you think there are some non clinical career options also that people might switch to? Because sometimes after dentistry, they feel कि I don't really feel myself while I'm doing the clinical aspects, or I'm not someone who can like be into the patient's zone all the time.
See, so I think in my times also we used to discuss a lot that there were few friends of mine who were good at academics, but not good with clinical dentistry. So there are various other things what you can do if you don't want to pursue clinical dentistry. You can always go for public health administration, health management courses. Then I think you can of course opt for academics. Other things I already discussed with you, like dental photography is there, coding is there, then AI, lot of things, yeah.
And we can also make it a secondary source of income when we are feeling that we are not being highly paid.
Absolutely. So it's a win situation for both.
Yeah. So let's talk about the mental health that people generally don't talk about among the peers.
Mental health, yeah. So one thing what I have realized is that it's not just dentistry. I think it's every career. Anyone who's ever feeling low or down, if you don't share your feelings with anyone, that may be your parents, that may be your friends, your siblings, we need to speak out, we need to express ourselves. If we do not share things, we know that we'll not be able to, make the other person understand that what we are going through. So there are people who go through serious depression, and the reason being that they're not able to share what they are going through. So I feel that there are few ways how, by how you can, be out of that zone. Meditation helps, meeting with friends, and taking help from your mentor. So we used to have a lot of mentors in our college. I'm sure even you would be having. It's always good to be connected with your peers, your seniors, your mentors. Wherever you are stuck, don't hesitate to get take help from anywhere. You don't, because a lot of times we feel that, what if they think that अरे इसको तो ये भी नहीं आता है. It's okay, it's fine, let them think that way. But today, if you're telling them that you don't know a thing, they will help you. They will not judge you because they know you already. So it's okay. It's fine to share and express your concerns or your limitations and take help from your peers.
So, what was one thing that can help you stay focused when you felt tough and slow?
So my daily ritual is my workout is something which is totally non-negotiable for me. I drop my daughter in the school bus and I'm in the gym every day between 7 to 8. That is something which helps me a lot. Secondly, I have always convinced myself not to compare my first year with someone else's 10th year, because that's what we do. Look at them, what they're doing. Never browse Instagram highlights, Instagram reels, because that is where you get the maximum depression. Because when you see other people doing so much, then you start thinking that, oh my God, we're not doing anything. Never do that. So comparing yourself with from others is totally no. Uh, Self help is all will take you on a very on a path where you think, you would know that okay, I am sufficient. I don't think I'm lacking something, or I have enough. Because workout is something, meditation, then uh, proper focus on the diet also, that also helps.
So let's talk it very raw, real, and hopeful. As you are someone who is gonna be the like guiding ray to them at this point. So if a dental fresher or someone feeling stuck is listening to this, who are feeling lost and tired, what are three things that you wish they should know right after BDS?
Okay, so the first thing is, like I said, that your first year will never be equal to their 10th year. Okay. Second is, you have been consistent enough, you have been patient enough. Continue to be the same, because this journey probably might be slow, but once you reach there, the feeling will be like totally worth it. And third is, to don't lose hope.
So, what is one thing that you would also like them to, okay, make this your daily routine quote that they need to hear every then and now so they don't feel like failing in their lives?
That one line, what I keep saying to myself also, that yes, you can do it, you've got it.
So that's your motto of saying
That's
that,
my mantra. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's your mantra to stay motivated and focused and build the dental career that you always wanted.
मतलब अपने ही भगवान है. That is my motto.
Okay. So, ma'am, I guess everything is covered that anyone who is a VDS fresher might be suffering from any lost thoughts. So, let's go to a rapid fire.
Sure.
So, if not dentistry, what alternate career would have you picked up?
Probably dancing or singing, because I love doing both.
What is one myth about being a dentist that you want to bust?
Oh, there are so many, honestly. But one myth which I would really want to bust is cleaning does not make your teeth loose, or that will not cause your teeth to fall off. That will only improve your dental health. That's one thing which probably I need to. In my family also, like there are people who come to me that ask, we don't do cleaning because our teeth will get damaged because of that. Imagine.
So there is this thing going on maybe towards our side. It is extraction leads to loss of eyesight.
So yeah, that the counter to this thing, what I do to my patients is, if extraction causes loss in the eyesight, all the people who must be wearing dentures must be blind by now. Then they're like, हाँ वो तो नहीं होता है. So then why do you talk like that?
So what is one thing that Instagram taught you?
Okay, Instagram taught us that whatever you do in the clinic is not sufficient. Showing what you're doing is much more essential than what you're actually doing. Like back in my BDS days, I never knew that we'll have to dance and sing and talk so much on Instagram, but we were just into books. I'm sure this generation, like your generation, would still be aware about what that Instagram can do. But Instagram really helps. To be very honest, Instagram helps you a lot. And I have built up my page over the years, so I know what it goes behind it. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. There are days wherein you don't feel like posting at all, but then you also know that this is also a discipline. You can't be not posting. You have to post every day.
जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So there is this thing that every BDS first year has in their mind, how to deal with this question that dentists are not doctors.
Oh yeah, I have come across this many times. Like even my friends, they tease me a lot of times by that. My own family, my own husband tells me that you're not a doctor, you're a dentist. But I always tell them, because one day he came with excruciating pain at my dental clinic. That is when I made him understand that okay, dentists are not doctors; they are more than doctors. They are much more than doctors, because the kind of pain dental pain gives you is something which nobody can take. It's like unbearable totally. So that is when they understand that okay, dentists are not doctors, but yeah, dentists are important.
So what is the best and the worst moment in your dental journey so far?
So my best moment has been with people whom I really connect with emotionally. Like there are a lot of senior citizens coming to my clinic, and there was one such patient uh, who probably was in his 70s, and the best part about that patient was it was just a denture case. It was just a complete denture case. What you're doing for him, but every time he used to come, he used to share his day to day lifestyle stories, his childhood stories with us. So, we somehow felt that he likes to come here just because he likes to share all these stories with us. So, that is something which has been a very fulfilling part of clinical dentistry in my clinic. I meet a lot of people, they share a lot of stuff with me. I like meeting new people too. Um, worst, okay, it's difficult. Worst can be, I think the worst part was the COVID times, wherein we when every other person on this earth was doing work from home, we were feeling totally stuck because we knew that we cannot do anything except dental consultations. There were a lot of people who used to call that, ma'am, we are in immense pain. Can you please open? But we were so helpless that we couldn't help them apart from the medications that we could give. So that is something which took me aback. But yeah, apart from that, I think I really feel blessed that I chose dentistry as a career, because for a working mother, I think it's the best profession to choose out of all, because there are limited hours of working. There are no emergencies. You can appoint your patients as per your convenience. You can take your child along with you to the clinic whenever you want. So I think it's a very fulfilling and rewarding career to choose from. Just that we have to be patient. We have to be consistent with our efforts.
Okay. So, ma'am, what do you think? Like, being a mother, it has been a more tough job because girls these days do have this question. How will I be able to manage the clinic? Or I have, as we discussed in the earlier aspects, that you were having this thing in your mind as well, that the family planning, and also how did you balance it so well?
Honestly, I didn't know that back then that I was balancing it. Now, when I think about it, I really wonder at times that, how did I manage everything? Because, like, house, your husband, your child, and then two clinics parallelly, then two clinics also comes with staff. You have to manage your staff also. So I somehow feel that my daughter and my husband played a major role here, because I never had that, any major holding back from their end. They used to be very supportive. In fact, I also feel that when a child knows that the mother is working, child also behaves accordingly. So the child knows that the mother is going to go, so the child will not be finicky. The child will understand, and I think, yeah, things happen because I've been in a family where my mother has been working always throughout. So I have also been brought up in a certain manner, and I have passed on the same to my daughter as well. So yeah, training is something which has helped me a lot. We have trained her from the childhood that okay, or mom is gonna go, and you don't have to feel homesick around like without her. There are times when the mom guilt also builds up, that you really feel that okay, you need to be around your child, but you cannot be. That's how it is.
Coming out from it, getting professional. So, what do you think that fellowships are worth it?
I have been thinking about it, but I have seen many fellow dentists who have pursued fellowships. See, I think fellowships do help, but fellowship is something which will demand a lot of time. So, are you ready to compromise that clinical dentistry time for the fellowship? Is one question what needs to be coming to your mind first. Second is, what is your end goal? Like, do you want to be known as practicing dentist, or you want to be known as someone who has, gained a lot of knowledge and probably, try to upskill themselves to that level? So, person to person, it's a personal choice, I feel. It does help, but it also needs a lot of time. So, you can decide accordingly.
So, coming to the conclusion, that was such an honest and much needed conversation with you, Dr. Suhani. And you did give us a lot of insights, be it how you had your BDS days and what are the things that we need to keep in mind, and the mantra that you did give us. So, to all our dental warriors out there, your journey might be slow, but it's still progressive, and you need to earn from your experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So don't let comparison steal your calm. If you found value today, make sure to share this with your dental family and keep smiling and make others smile.
Yeah, it was good to interact with you, Doc. Nice. Do
It
share.
was been like a great pleasure for me also to have a word with you after a 15 years of clinical experience.
Yeah, 15 years and going on. Let's see how far we are able to.
Yeah,
Wish you all the best for our setup. Let me know if you need any help while setting up or something. Okay.
sure. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And have a great day.
Bye.